Oh, hello, slingers. Welcome to another Wordslinger podcast. It's been a busy week of conferencing for me right here in fabulous Las Vegas. My voice is all over the place. The audio is not going to be great, but we're going to do this thing, so stick around.
It's the Wordslinger podcast, where story matters. Build your brand, write your book, redefine who you are. It's all about the story here. What's yours? Now, here's the guy who invented pants optional, Kevin Tumlinson, the Wordslinger.
Wordslinger.
Well, I am J. Kevin Tumlinson, your roving wordslinger. I'm here in Vegas for the Author Nation 2025 conference. Been hanging out with a bunch of authors, a bunch of industry folk, a bunch of randos that I meet in the hall, and it's been a really good week for me and for, I hope, for the 1,200 or so people who are attending here. I want to put this out there. I want to put this out there right away so that you can go ahead and, while you're listening, check your schedule, make your plans. But if you are in the Vegas area and you are able to make it, tonight is the big event with James Patterson speaking on stage. Pardon me, my throat is not good with all this smoke and dryness. So if you can be here for that, I think you can still buy tickets at the door. I believe so. But go to authornation.com, I think is the web address, and you can, or authornation.live, I think, and you can probably pick up tickets there. But tomorrow, I don't think there's any tickets necessary for this one, but it's the Reader Nation event, and it's right here in the Horseshoe Hotel on the Strip. Actually, so let me think about this. I think that the event with Patterson is actually tonight in the Paris Hotel, and the Reader Nation event is tomorrow in the Horseshoe. I could have all that wrong, but check authornation.live and it will tell you. So the reason I'm pushing that is that I'm going to be one of the writers signing books at that event. So if you happen to have one of my books and you want to get it signed, come on by. And if you don't have one of my books, I'm going to have some for sale so you can come chat with me. We'll get to know each other. I might ask you to bring me a coffee or something, or perhaps a sandwich. I don't know how they're going to do lunch. I don't know how any of this is going to work. So anyway, here all day. So this morning I'm actually going to be the MC announcing a few folks, but one of those is my good friend JD Barker. I'm looking forward to it. I've written up something special. I'm kind of leaving him with the impression that I'm going to dog on him a little, but I'm not. I'm looking forward to introducing my friend and seeing and hearing his talk. Since I'm at a conference and my voice is barely functional right now, I've kind of been thinking a lot about the benefits of conference going and other things kind of tangentially related to that, including like podcasting and things like that. So I thought I'd talk about that for a bit. So the biggest really benefit that I've had. So I had gone to a lot of author conferences before I started working with Draft Digital, but it wasn't until I was kind of with them and I started kind of being on both sides of the author conference fence. I was both an author and one of the vendors. I'm sorry I keep clearing my throat, but I'm horribly dry throat right now. Anyway, I was treated to like a different perspective on the whole author conference thing. Before I started with DD, I did some marketing work for, software companies and ad agencies, and, conferences were always a part of all that, but we never had a scenario where that was the primary form of marketing for a business. But Draft Digital, that's what we embraced early on. And it ended up being very beneficial because, for one, it helped that we had authors who were on staff with the company who could be on both sides of that fence. But what happened is I ended up meeting and connecting with not just authors, but a bunch of folks in the industry. I became good friends with a lot of people. And we see each other, when you start going to all those conferences, you end up seeing a lot of the same crowd over and over again. And it kind of helps you refine who to zero in on as someone you should have in your circle. That's a benefit, I think, of going to multiple conferences, is finally kind of determining, like, there's that Jim Rohn quote, if you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. When I first met JD, I was at a conference in Tennessee, and I had just kind of gotten into all that stuff, and I went to him afterward and said, there's this Jim Rohn quote, and I'm trying to upgrade my 5, so I'd love for us to connect. And he gets a kind of, vague deer in headlights look, and we didn't talk for another 2 or 3 years. But now we are co-hosts on the Writers Inc. podcast, and we're here at this conference, and we, chat pretty frequently. We've written a book together. And I consider him a very dear friend. He's somebody I want to see succeed. He is already successful, but if I can help him succeed in grander ways, I'm going to put in the work to do that, because he's someone I care about now. And I want to see that, along with the other hosts, Christine and Jenna. I want to see them succeed. So there is a benefit in going to conferences in that you can upgrade your 5 or upgrade your circle. The other benefit is when you are present at these things and you're talking to these the industry folks. Here's my advice. Don't go in talking to them looking for an immediate opportunity with them. I remember talking to Podium at a conference years ago, really wanted them to pick me up and do my audiobooks. And I just was not really, wasn't there yet. I wasn't in a position where I would be a good investment for them. I think maybe I could have been, but they had no social proof of that. But I was probably a little too eager in that conversation. But what ended up happening is I just walked away feeling, lowly and frustrated. I felt like I had failed. 1 second, coffee break. But over the years, I've run into these folks. I've talked to more and more people. The more I engage with these people on a human level, the more they come to know me in that light, and the easier it is to have. We have a relationship rather than a transaction, and so I end up with more opportunities. I was approached by Podium before the conference, like a couple of weeks before the conference. Their director of acquisitions reached out to me to ask if we could meet up while I was here. And I said, absolutely. And that's going to lead to a good opportunity for me. I've had other things like that happen. And you don't get that kind of opportunity. You don't get those opportunities without putting in some time and work. And it just can't be forced. I mean, you just can't go in with a checklist. Okay, connect with Podium and, I don't know, Tantor or whoever, and get them to offer me something. It's just not going to work that way. Even if you go in trying to schmooze, hey, let's get some coffee. I'll buy you dinner. Let's hang out. That often doesn't work either. But casual conversations around, say, the coffee bar at a conference that you're attending, or at the bar itself. I barcon a lot. Introducing people. Actually, let's move into a whole other point then. What is this, point number 3? A good use of conferences would be to not just connect, but to connect others. This year, I have a new friend, a good friend. He's been on the Wordslinger podcast, Tim Heller. He's got his audio production, TLC. No, that's not it. THC. Tim Heller. Something. All right. I'm sorry, Tim. I'll promote you better. I'm sorry, man. But he has a whole business. He's a voice actor, And he does narration for audiobooks, but he has a whole team that does that. And they've got some big deals with like Forbes and some other opportunities. And I told, we live just a couple of miles from each other in north of Austin, met up, hung out. And so I talked him into coming to this conference. And, I played it up for what it was. This is a big deal conference, possibly not his target demographic, but what I've been doing is introducing him to the sort of powers that be here. So the authors that attend this conference probably can't afford the kind of services he's offering. But a lot of the companies that are here, a lot of the vendors that are here are connected to authors who could afford it, or they are companies that would want to bring someone in to do that sort of work for them. And there are other opportunities that come out of that. So I've been connecting him with all these people. Well, what happens when you are willing to be the connector is, one, everybody remembers you that way. Kevin is the guy I'm going to go to because he knows everybody. And what ends up really happening is you cement those relationships. You do become the person who knows everybody. And then everyone thinks of you when they need to solve something. And that means that when one of those things they need to solve is something that could be an opportunity for you, you're right there on it. I had a conversation with someone last night who said he's looking for, because he's interested possibly in me as helping with acquisitions for his publishing company. And he's looking for somebody to do some thrillers set in the 80s, some 80s spy thrillers. Now, if you are someone who writes spy thrillers in the 80s, or you're interested in that, reach out to me. However, I said, I happen to write thrillers, so I might be able to do some of those myself. So there could be an opportunity for both of us. But if you reach out to me through this podcast, I might be able to connect you with this person, and then it could be an opportunity for all three of us. So there you go. That's a freebie. The point there is, if you are willing to be a connector, it will not only generate some goodwill for the people you are connecting, but it will expand your circles as well. I introduced Tim to some people that I know but don't know, but because we were there and having conversations, and there was goodwill toward me for bringing these people together, now we have a deeper relationship. So connection. Don't undervalue the power of being a connector. This is a particularly long conference for me. I mean, I arrived on Sunday and I'm flying back out on Saturday, end of day. I mean, I don't even know what I'm going to do with myself all day. And I am not somebody who enjoys Vegas the way other people do. I mean, I like coffee shops and quiet time, and I like to sit and write. And so, but I'm forcing myself to get out of the hotel room and away from my routines. So that's another benefit I think is useful to you in attending conferences, is a change of scenery and an opportunity to get some inspiration from a new environment. Embrace discomfort is going to be some of the best advice I can give you. If you can embrace being uncomfortable and doing things a little different than you're used to doing them, the benefits to you are profound and exponential. Because, for example, like since being here, I've hung out with the Writers Inc. crew, where the entire crew is here for once. The whole group, even Alex, the guy who edits the podcast for us. But JP is here. Jenna lives in Vegas, so she's dropped in. Christine and JD and we've all been hanging out all week. And I love that. I love having a group of people to hang out with. Last night, everyone kind of had their own plans and things booked, and so we all kind of went our separate ways. And I ended up meeting up with some old friends who were in town. And then I did something fun for somebody, which I'll talk about in a minute. But, well, actually, it's kind of a perfect tie-in. at the end of the day, I grabbed a burger for dinner and I was heading back to my room. I ran into some friends, Johnny Truant and David Virgutz, and they were on their way to run an errand. And they invited me along, and I almost went and decided, now I'm just going to go out of my room. I'm going to go to my room. As I was walking through the lobby, though, there is a little shop that has a Welcome to Vegas sign, that iconic, sign from the old Vegas Strip, It sparked I knew there was something I knew I wanted to do. I had brought along, and I can't show you because it's actually, right now, it's part of the tripod I'm using for my camera. But I brought along a book by my friend Dave Cullen, who has the Dave Cullen Show and Computing Forever on YouTube. Both wonderful channels. You should go subscribe to him on YouTube. I'll put links to both those in the show notes. But he wrote a book, and I helped him with this, Deus V Machina, and it's kind of a sci-fi noir thriller set, in the not too distant future in Las Vegas. I had designed a cover concept for him, which he used with his designer. I did the layout for the book, so I helped him out with it. But and I've been kind of advising him on strategy. But I have a copy of the book, and so I brought it with me, and it's a very Vegas-themed cover. So I brought it with me, and with the intention of doing a little photo tour with it. And I hadn't had time all week. I had not had a second. So on my way up to my room, I see that sign, that Vegas sign. I think, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do it. I said I was going to. I didn't tell him I was going to do it. I had promised myself I would do it for the fun of it, for my friend. And so what I do, I got in the elevator. Our elevator was acting a little funky. If you pushed more than 3 floors, it wiped all the buttons clear. So we had to do it floor by floor. Well, somehow I accidentally got off on the wrong floor. I'm on the 9th floor, and I get off on the 8th floor, and they're identical. They look identical. And so I wander down to my room, and my key won't open my door. And I'm very frustrated because that's what happened the first night I was here. My key wouldn't open my door. And so I was going to get mad, but I looked up and noticed I was at the wrong door. And I'm like, curses, literally cursed. And I wandered back, and I went up, and I thought, hell, that's the universe telling me I shouldn't do it, But then I get in my room, and I see the book sitting there, and I think, you know what, the hell with it. This is something I said I was going to do. So I took the book down with me. I took a photo with it with that sign. I took it out into the streets. I took photos with it along the strip. And people gave me weird looks. And I'm like, whatever, man. I got a friend. I'm going to help out with these photos. And so I took time to do something for someone that, isn't going to benefit me in any way whatsoever, except that it made a friend feel good. And he was grateful to me for it. And I did a whole series of those, brought them all back to the room, was going to color correct them and everything on the iPad, but the Wi-Fi here is terrible. So I had to do it all on my phone through Lightroom, and made them look pretty good and sent them to him, and he was blown away. And he actually took some into I forget the name of the AI he's been using, but he's been putting photos into this AI app that turns them into little videos. And I was blown away by that. And he was just so grateful for it. So the point of that is, and how it ties back to conference going, is when you are going to be at a conference, especially if you're going somewhere that's out of town from you, and you're going to be there for a little while, look for those kind of opportunities to not only get a change of scenery, but also like, what could you do that would benefit you or someone else in this space that's unique to this space? You wouldn't be able to do it anywhere else. I couldn't have taken his book around Austin and gotten the same, it wouldn't have been the same. Like I could have taken photos of it in various places, but this is where the book is set. And this guy lives in Ireland. He's not going to be able to come here anytime soon. So, when would he have the opportunity to do it for himself? So that led to, there was a lot of growth in that because I got out of my room. I fulfilled something I said I was going to do, and that always gives you a boost. And I did something kind for somebody that I care about. Does that benefit me directly? It might at some point. Dave has plugged some of my books on his channel before, and he's given me little shout outs here and there, and has sent me all kinds of stuff. We have great conversations. The benefit for me really is that I've got another good friend out there, and somebody that I respect and admire, and I'm happy to help him out. He's going to use those things as marketing promotions and stuff for his book. So, he might tell people about that, and who knows what opportunities that could lead to for me. So I got an iPhone and I got Lightroom. I can do little things like that for somebody. Why not, right? But it gives you an excuse to get out in the world. I read Tim Ferriss's book, 4-Hour Work Week, back when it first came out. Pardon me. And I have since read it numerous times more. And one of the things that he said is something I've actually kind of been too afraid to go all in on. But more coffee if you're listening. Sorry. He said that when he travels now, he tries to travel with just a backpack. He doesn't take anything with him. He doesn't take any toiletries or anything. Because when he lands in a city, he likes to, that forces him to get out and interact with people for mundane, everyday things. It's not a tourist thing. It's somebody needs a toothbrush. Somebody needs some deodorant. They didn't bring any underwear. So you're forcing yourself to become a part of the environment you're in. That's what this was for me, and I benefit from it. I grow from it. I discovered some things I didn't know were around here that in future trips to Vegas now I'll be able to utilize and enjoy, and so that's a perk, a benefit, and frankly something you should be doing when you go to conferences. And you're here to learn some stuff. This conference has a reader component, so this one's a little unique to me. Most of the author conferences I go to are geared entirely towards authors, and it's usually about how do I do this business, but it's also about community, and you're connecting with people who think like you, who are doing the same sorts of things you're doing. You're supporting each other. Each of you learns something different from a conference, and so by connecting with each other, you are able to share all of that with each other, and so you all grow, and it's that rising tides lift all boats concept. So that's an important component, the learning and the growth, but the social aspect, you should not overlook that. The fact that you can be in a room with hundreds or just tens of authors, hundreds, maybe thousands. This one's got 1,200 authors attending. Being in a room with that many people who share your dream is only going to bless and benefit you. So it is a good thing to do. JD and I were walking back from dinner with the Writers Inc. crew a couple of nights ago. And we were discussing, we don't really get any direct benefit out of attending a conference. We don't make money, from being here. We're talking mostly to authors, so most of them probably aren't going to read our stuff. So they're not going to become readers. This reader event is a little different, but, even there, it's, you're one of hundreds of authors that these people are discovering. So you may not get new readers from this. You may not get any sales. You might not. And even if you do, the margins are probably going to be pretty thin, and it's more about discoverability. But we were talking about how we just don't get any direct benefit. And in fact, there's a lot of downside to being here because we're here for a week. it disrupts your life. It disrupts my writing schedule. It disrupts my sleep schedule. My voice goes wonky. I got still manage to do podcasts somehow, some way in the middle of all that. So it can get stressful. But he said it. He said something, and I don't know that I'm sure he fully realizes what he was saying, but he had said, their only real benefit is that it gives him the chance to give back to the author community. You should not undervalue service. Like, the whole reason I ever started coming to I started coming to author conferences originally to learn and to maybe figure out how to do this business. But once I started working with Draft to Digital, it was about serving the author community, and I sort of accidentally discovered through that serving that community benefits me. And so now I get asked by people to come to these things specifically to represent them. I've done it for companies like, I've helped out companies like Publisher Rocket, Plotter. I'm here this year with Author Anchor, which, if you've listened for a while, Author Anchor has been a sponsor of the show, but they help connect you with personal assistants from the Philippines for as little as $5 an hour. So I say as little as, that's the base rate. You pay $5 an hour to that VA with a $99 a month admin fee to Author Anchor. So it's like $7.50 an hour. That's what it works out to. There's my sponsor plug, by the way. And you can find them at authoranchor.com. Look for the very handsome bearded man. Just saying. But anyway, because I'm here representing businesses a lot, brands a lot, it gives me the benefit of I don't have to pay out of pocket to come. And, Joe has been generous in supplying me with this room that you see behind me if you're on YouTube, because I'm doing MC duty. I'm introducing guests. And this year I'm not on a panel. I'm not moderating. I'm not talking. But I get just as much touch because I'm just here to make sure everything goes smoothly. Make sure the guest gets a good introduction. I take the time. I sat down at the beginning of the week and wrote out a nice introduction for every single guest that I was introducing because it matters. And service benefits them, but it also benefits me. Because I took the time to serve, I built goodwill with the community, and I get invited to do the kinds of things I get invited to do. Author Anchor and others bring me here to talk to the authors because I'm known as someone who serves the author community. So I get opportunities out of that. But even when I've just attended as just Kevin Tumlinson, the author, I've always tried to serve this community in every way I could, because it does come back to me. When you are willing to be the one to help this new author with, launching their new series or something, they may come back to you. Like I had an author come to me last year at this conference and ask if I'd be willing to read her the audiobook for her novella. And I did that and made a little money, but also it gave me a chance to jump into that and try that out. Something I'd been threatening to do forever and just, always felt intimidated by it. But I was able to do it, and I was able to bless her and bless myself, etc. So there you go. Some things, I don't know how many they were. Perhaps AI can tell me. But some tips for why you should embrace author conferences and how to get the best out of them. I hope that was useful and blesses you. Sorry for the poor sound quality, both the AirPods and and my voice, which is kind of all over the place, which makes me sad because tonight is karaoke. Spoken is a company that's here, and they are hosting a karaoke night, and I was really looking forward to it, and I'm just I think I'm not going to be able to do it. I think that I am a wreck. So I might have to, I don't know, maybe I can't do honey anymore, but maybe I can get some hot water and lemon today and just nurture my throat. Go to, there's like a CVS next door to the hotel. I can go there and buy some Ricola drops or something. But anyway, as I said, I hope you're blessed by this. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week and weekend ahead, and month and year and lifetime. If you are willing, please subscribe to the show wherever you listen to podcasts. But in particular, I am trying to get enough subscribers on the YouTube version of this that I can monetize the show. And draw in new people who maybe haven't heard of the Wordslinger podcast or some of the stuff that I talk about. So if you are willing, even if you only listen on podcast apps, I would appreciate it if you'd mosey on over to youtube.com/Wordslinger podcast and click subscribe. And I would very much appreciate that. You can go to wordslingerpodcast.com to find all the back episodes. So feel free to do that. And I'm pretty sure there's links to the YouTube version there. Every show I post has the YouTube video embedded in it. So you can get to it from there. But please, if you don't mind, I know it's a big ask for some of you, but go subscribe on YouTube so that I can grow. I got to get to at least 1,000 subscribers. I think I'm sitting at about 600. And I appreciate every one of you. God bless you. But tell people about the show. Help me grow the thing. Because when I said I was thinking of cutting it out, I got so much feedback, so many emails and direct messages, and people who were like, "Don't do that." And they love the authenticity. They said, so that's the brand, authentic. So anyway, bless you for that. Thank you for that. I'm going to go ahead and wrap us up, but I really do appreciate you being here. And I'll see you next time.